There's something I learned last year that genuinely changed the way I worked. And it came from a video I saw on Instagram. This guy I follow on Instagram, Eric Guba, was talking about Anthony Joshua's fight with Jake Paul. And you know how it is before a big boxing match. There's always the smack talk, the hype, all of that. And Joshua had said something like, I'm going to knock him out in the first round. And like the first round. Yeah. So naturally everyone's watching, waiting for exactly that. And it doesn't happen. Of course, he does knock Jake out and wins the bout, but it just doesn't happen in the first round. And what Eric pointed out, which really stuck with me, was that Anthony Joshua has a system, a way of wearing opponents down before landing that final punch. And that process doesn't fit into one round. It can't. And if he had tried to rush his entire game plan just to meet people's expectations, he probably would have lost that match. I heard that and it hit me immediately because that was something I had done before. Letting people's expectation, which I created for them, push me into producing work that I wasn't very proud of. Early on in my journey as a digital creator, I wrote a lot of fiction and I had these habits, a really bad one, honestly. I would announce stories before they were ready. Like I would be working on something and then I'd build all this anticipation around it. I'd go on and tell people like, hey, something big is coming, watch out for it, and then I basically set a deadline for myself because while I'm saying all of that, I'm telling people that it's going to be out in a week, in a month, by the weekend, it's going to be out tomorrow, right? So they should look out for it tomorrow. And by doing that, I was creating deadlines for myself. And the funny thing is, whenever I did that, I would come up against this, block. And I don't know if announcing or finished work is some kind of bad luck trigger, but I would always come against this, block, and it's either I got stuck on a line or there was something with the plot that I couldn't figure out. Right. And then I would just be stuck. And that was when the pressure would descend. Because now I had told people, I told my friends, and they were waiting. I had said that the chapter will be out tomorrow, the book will be out tomorrow. So it had to be tomorrow. Right. So I would just write anything, whatever came out, whether it felt right or not. Right, output over quality, just get something on the page. And a lot of times I would miss the deadline, but I would be unhappy with what I put out. So I would end up deleting it or not even promoting it. Sometimes I'd start over entirely. Sometimes I just leave it and move on. And I think back now and think about what could have been if I had just been patient with myself. Because here's what I've come to understand. Whenever my friends were excited for a new piece I was working on, they weren't cheering for the deadline. They were cheering for me. It wasn't because of me saying that the work would be out tomorrow. I think they were excited that I was actually putting the work out whenever that would be, right? So the anticipation was never about when, it was about whether I'd actually finish the work, right? Whether I'd actually see it through. And I think sometimes it's easy to forget that the people in your corner, they are less concerned with how long it takes and more concerned with you actually getting the job done, right? No matter how long it takes. And when Anthony Joshua finally landed that knockout punch, the crowd still cheered, right? Just as loud. I think that's similar with what I'm trying to point out, right? But let me be clear on this. This is not an excuse to be lazy or to avoid the work. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is trusting your process and actually following what you know works for you, that is worth it. It's worth more than, hitting someone else's timeline or living up to something you said in a moment of excitement. Right? Don't let the cheers rush you out of your system because the cheers will still come. They'll just be for something you're actually proud of. Yeah. So as usual, the question I want to leave with you today is, would you rather finish something quickly or take your time and be genuinely proud of it? I look forward to any comments you may have. If you like this episode, share it with someone you think might enjoy it. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you in another one.